Okay. Hello, my name is Garland Johnson, and out of this speech from the Aesop fable that I was reading, it started with the war. So what I got out of this is negative thoughts and positive thoughts, because in the story, it was negative people who were going off their opinions, and it was positive people who were going off their opinions. Neither one was wrong, neither was right, but both had their own opinions. And what you could get out of this listening to me is I've done a lot of research on mental health. It is my passion. So out of a lot of this, is something that I struggle with negative thoughts and positive thoughts that has left me in depressive states, not too happy states. And you start to realize, okay, when you think about your negative thoughts, most of the negative thoughts that you think about aren't really right. And that's what this story helped me realize and bring out. Look, I've learned in studies in mental health that when you believe these thoughts, not all of them are right, but not even a lot of your positive thoughts are right either. It's based off what you think, like the people in the story. All right, now let's get to the fable that brought this out of me. The Great of Good and Bad and Evil by Baum, I think is his name, and it is an Aesop fable. My Aesop fable was written in 1901, in a quote that she said to me that really stuck out was, "She is protected from the power of good, and that is greater from the power of evil." In this story, good versus evil gets in a humongous war, and the author makes it clearly available that failure is what teaches growth. So, and destruction helps renewal. You may go through things and not get the outcome that you want, but when you keep going and keep believing the positive, you'll end up getting the outcome that you want. Although the characters in the story weren't named, they were just characters, and besides the dragons and stuff like that, but the characters all they got into this big war off of how the town was basically going to be ran. So, okay, what they thought the positive thinkers, I guess, were, which is the good, had their belief system, and then the evil had their belief system too. Not that any of them were wrong, but just off of their beliefs. And the people are deciding what side they're going to be on based on what their decisions are going to be. And of course, in the story, is dragons, is fire breathing, it's all of that. But I related this to my thoughts because there's a lot of people my age and people all ages deal with and struggle with. We go off of what people feel, right? So I learned that we need to go off the opinions of ourselves. The story starts with the outlooks on things, and they the beliefs. And I thought of that just basically kind of like my mind too. I've had negative thoughts and I have positive thoughts, and I couldn't seem to get them to come together. The outcome of the story is what really needed to happen, or what didn't happen is if everybody just came together and really decided on what was true and what was not true, everything would have came together and they may have been able to stick together. This story helped me think some things through and figure things out, and understanding my mind the same way that the story should have went. And all that matters in what you believe is what you think and what you make sure is what you think of what you make sure is positive. Thank you.